How's it going, everyone? We are in the month of March, and I thought we'd take a look at the biggest games coming out this month. We've got 2 free titles, some really big games. While I wouldn't say it's as big as February. Look, February, we had Monster Hunter Wilds, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza. We had Trails Through Daybreak 2, Avowed, so on and so forth. There were some major games coming out in February, but March has got a lot of big stuff coming out as well. And let's just get right into it, and let's start things off with what I would say is the biggest game of March. Some people might vehemently disagree with me on that, but guess what? Assassin's Creed Shadows, no matter what you think about the game, I still think it's going to be a gargantuan release. And I've been looking at some of the recent gameplay, man. I think the game is shaping up pretty nicely. Every time I look at the game and I see gameplay, I'm like, okay, we have something here. If you disagree about certain aspects of the game, look, people can meme on it to death, but even if it isn't a great game, it's a Ubisoft open world game, we'll see how it turns out. It is still the latest main entry in one of the most popular franchises in gaming. You can't take that away from it ultimately, and I'm just hoping it turns out well. Look, I've also been wanting Assassin's Creed in feudal Japan since literally like 2010. The idea spawned in my head way back in the day. Now, I would have personally liked it with the old style of Assassin's Creed games, but you know, that's my personal preference as far as which games I enjoy more, but still excited to check out Shadows, and we'll see how it turns out. It'll be dropping on March the 20th. Next up, we have 2 Point Museum. Send experts on expeditions, decorate dinosaur bones, and uncover amazing artifacts in this thrilling and innovative management sim from the creators of 2 Point Hospital and 2 Point Campus. You have 2 Point Museum. Using the brand new world map, venture far and wide to undiscovered areas in your quest to find unusual relics in various styles and rarity types to decorate your museum. 2 Point Museum will be out on March the 4th. Next up, here's another game that's getting some buzz, Atomfall. Atomfall is a survival action game set in the rolling British countryside. It is inspired by the real-life events of the 1957 windscale disaster in the north of England. Picking up the story 5 years after the fire in a fictionalized quarantine zone, Atomfall is an original title that incorporates single-player gameplay and story elements in ways Rebellion has never attempted before. Rebellion is a long-story development studio. They've worked on a plethora of titles. Most notably, the Sniper Elite titles have been done by Rebellion, but this is definitely a foray into something a little bit different, being an RPG with a lot of attention to detail. I'm excited to see how Atomfall turns out. It'll be dropping on March 27th. Next up, another Xbox title makes its way on over to PlayStation 5, Age of Mythology Retold, from the creators of the award-winning Age of Empires franchise. Age of Mythology Retold goes beyond history to a mythical age where gods, monsters, and humans collide, combining the best elements of the beloved Age of Mythology with modern real-time strategy design and visuals. Retold is an epic and innovative experience for old and new players alike. Age of Mythology Retold will be hitting PlayStation 5 on March the 4th. Next up, we have a brand new free title coming to PlayStation, War Robots Frontiers. War Robots Frontiers is an online multiplayer mech shooter that launches the War Robots universe into the stars. Build and customize your mechs, squad up and unleash the destructive power of your machines in epic online battles. Shoot and smash your way to victory in 6v6 team-based online battles. Whether you're an attacker, tank support, or speed-loving gearhead, there's a playstyle for you. War Robots Frontiers will be dropping on March the 4th. Next up, we have Morkull Ragast's Rage, a 2D video game that combines platforming and action with a touch of exploration, in which we control Morkull, the god of death and darkness and lord of the Ragast, whose main mechanics lie in the breaking of the fourth wall. Expect a little bit of comedy here, as Morkull Ragast's Rage will be dropping on March the 5th. Next up, another major title dropping in just a few days, Split Fiction, coming from the guys over at Hazelight who did A Way Out and It Takes Two. Split Fiction is the latest cooperative-focused experience, and it looks to be another compelling co-op title that you can play with a friend. It is a game that's not going to be super lengthy. Don't expect that out of Hazelight. It seems like Hazelight has really crafted their genre of game, and it's something that we don't see a lot of, games that are designed from the ground up with this co-op mind, and I am really excited to see where they go in the future and what they have here with Split Fiction. Given the success of It Takes Two and A Way Out, I expect something of quality with Split Fiction, as it is dropping on March the 6th. Next up, we have Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, Gate Rune, and Dunan Unification Wars. What a title that is, but excited to see Suikoden come back in a big way with this remastered collection. Some rumblings that maybe a new title is in the works as well. We'll see how that ultimately turns out. Suikoden is one of those games that is a classic JRPG series. It was a little bit funny. We had Yun Chronicle come out last year, and that was a game that got announced, and then all of a sudden, oh, Suikoden's back. Now, to be fair, Konami's been bringing back a lot of their classic franchise. So, you know what? The more JRPGs, the better, and Suikoden is one that has been long dormant, and it's just good to see it come back. Hopefully people do support it. It's going to be dropping on March the 6th. Next up, we have another free-to-play title in FragPunk. FragPunk is a fast-paced 5v5 hero shooter with power-up cards that change the rules of each round. Choose your hero, your weapons, and pick from a selection of cards that dramatically change the rule of engagement. No 2 rounds of FragPunk are ever the same. Choose your hero, your weapons, and pick from a selection of cards that dramatically change the rules of engagement. No 2 rounds of FragPunk are ever the same. Discover over 70 shard cards with an activatable selection that changes every round, creating new and unique combinations in this multiplayer hero shooter that is absolutely free to play. If you guys don't know, the hero shooter market is a little bit competitive these days because a little game came out called Marvel Rivals. We'll see where FragPunk fits into all of this, but it will be dropping on March the 6th. Next up, we have Sugardew Island, your cozy farm shop. In a bygone era, humans, animals, and the forest folk lived in perfect harmony on Sugardew Island. A seed nurtured by all islanders grew into a magnificent tree. However, driven by greed, humans sought to fell the harmony tree, disrupting the balance. The sudden change in their nature forced animals and forest folk to flee, leaving the land in ruins. Now a lone being awaits someone to rest. Sugardew Island is a cozy farming game with so much charm to it, and hopefully it finds an audience of its own as it is dropping on March the 7th. Next up, the first Berserker Khazan, another action title that I see a lot of people are excited for. The story of the first Berserker Khazan centers around General Khazan, who was falsely charged with treason and exiled. It is a revenge tragedy depicted in a unique 3D cell animation style, and right off the bat, that is the element of the game that really drew me in. The art style, I think, is incredibly unique and compelling, and we'll see how the first Berserker Khazan turns out when it drops on March 27th. Speaking of action titles, AI Limit isn't getting as much attention, but another one to have on your radar. After the abrupt and enigmatic collapse of the artificial ecosystem, a series of natural disasters and conflicts ravaged the civilization, ultimately leading to its demise. And in the centuries that followed, you had the mud permeating around every corner of the world, giving a rise to nightmarish creatures. And now it's up to you to slay the nightmare. In this post-apocalyptic wasteland sci-fi action RPG, you'll play as Orisa, a blader with immortality, and explore the city ruin to find new hope. AI Limit will be dropping on March 27th. Next up, we have a brand new horror title, one that's been getting a little bit of buzz recently, Karma the Dark World. Karma the Dark World is a first-person cinematic psychological thriller set in a dystopian world where the Leviathan Corporation is omnipresent. The year is 1984, the place is East Germany, and things are not quite what they seem. You are Daniel, a roam agent for Leviathan's Thought Burrow, and you have been brought in to investigate actions that have happened in a very specific moment in time. Karma the Dark World drops on March 27th. Next up, we have Killing Floor 3, the next installment of the major co-op first-person shooter is now here with Killing Floor 3, the legendary co-op FPS series taking place in the year 2091, a full 70 years after the events of Killing Floor 2. The Mega Corporation has engineered the ultimate army, a fearsome, obedient horde of bioengineered monstrosities known as the Zeds. Killing Floor 3 is the next installment in the legendary action horror series. The intense FPS puts you in the boots of a Nightfall specialist, joining forces with up to 5 teammates to battle waves of Zeds, earn dash, unlock skills, and build the ultimate arsenal throughout. Killer co-op gameplay, relentless as Zed, survival tech, and dangerous locations, all available in Killing Floor 3 as it's going to be dropping on March the 25th. Next up, if you follow this channel, you might know that I'm a big fan of Bleach, and now we have Bleach getting its first big budget video game in a very long time. Bleach Rebirth of Souls. Obviously, Bleach is incredibly hot right now with the 1,000-Year Blood War airing off and on. It's once a year that we have a season come out, but now we have a major fighting game being released. Now, anime fighting games sometimes are good. Sometimes you'll get the Naruto Storms, you'll get the Sparking Zeros that get a lot of interest, and then sometimes you'll get the pile of steaming trash that is Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash. But hopefully, Bleach Rebirth of Souls will be more so like the formers rather than the latter, but we'll see how it turns out. You've got some iconic characters here, and Bleach has been long overdue for a major video game, and we'll finally get that with Bleach Rebirth of Souls, as it is dropping on March 21st. Next up, incredibly excited for this, Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land. I think this is going to be a gateway point for a lot of JRPG fans to check out Atelier for the first time. In a world where alchemy has become taboo and is considered evil, Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land follows the adventures of Yumia and her companions as they seek to uncover the truth behind the fall of the Aldician Empire, which once thrived with alchemy and the memories of its lost history. A lot of great art design, and expect some great gameplay as well. Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land drops on March 21st. Next up, an Xbox title making its way over to PlayStation 5, we have Dungeons of Hinterberg. This one has been available on PC and Xbox, I should say. It's not like an Xbox published game. Published by Curve Games. Welcome to Hinterberg, a blossoming tourist gem created in the tranquil embrace of the Austrian Alps. Step into the shoes of Luisa, a burnt-out law trainee searching for an escape from the relentless pace of her corporate life as she embarks on a quest to master the Dungeons of Hinterberg. Dungeons of Hinterberg will be dropping on March 13th. Next up, a gorgeous game here in Wanderstop. Wanderstop is a narrative-centric cozy game about change and tea. Playing as a fallen farmer named Alta, you'll manage a tea shop with the magical forest and tend to the customers who pass through, but Alta does not want to be here, and if she gets her way, the tea shops will be nothing but a brief and painful memory. Wanderstop drops on March 11th. And lastly, we have Chornobyl Liquidators. The largest nuclear disaster in human history occurred on April 26, 1986 as a result of the explosion and destruction of a reactor number 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear plant. A massive amount of radioactive isotopes were released into the atmosphere. Squads of liquidators were sent out to combat this invisible and deadly enemy. They were not heroes, yet they were called upon to perform heroic deeds. Chornobyl Liquidators drops on March 11th. And that is going to do it for me. Again, there are more games dropping in March than just these, but the major titles coming to PS4 and 5 in the month of March. The entire list will be in the description box below. Check out some of these games for yourself and let us know which games you're the most excited for in the month of March. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.